Hey, what's going on? It's Marley here, aged 18, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to draw really good indie games. So you can see here that I have started by drawing a small man with some sort of helmet on his head and a little circle inside that helmet because circles inside helmets provide light. You're then going to want to move over and start drawing a small child with a freakishly large head and tears coming out of his eyes because children are sad. You're then going to draw another small child, except this one is going to be holding some sort of giant hammer. The reason that this child has a hammer is unknown, but one hopes that he doesn't do too much smashing with it. You want to make sure this child is sitting on a floating piece of rock, because children are magical and they can make pieces of rock float. You're then going to draw another child, except this one is a very dark child. That's about it, really. You're then going to draw a sort of mad scientist looking man. You make sure to have the hair coming up in two huge bunches up at the sides, just like kind of like bunny ears, except hair. You're then going to want to draw a small man in a suit, but it is very important when drawing a small man in a suit to make sure that this small man in a suit is jumping with his hand in the air like Superman, except he doesn't have hands. Now, you've got to be very careful to not draw the hands on this guy, because if you do draw the hands on him, then it kind of just ruins the immersion of him in a suit. You may have just watched there, but I drew a small man, a pixel man. Make sure this pixel man is 2D, not 3D, definitely 2D. And then you want to rub out boxes. If you occasionally draw boxes, it's kind of a nervous tick I have. You just have to get rid of them immediately. Then you want to move on and draw a small rectangular creature with a freaky looking face and some little weird squiggles next to him. You must be very careful when drawing these squiggles, because this particular drawing has the chance to explode when drawing those squiggles. You want to draw a giant eye with lots of tentacles. Giant eye. Moving on, we're going to be drawing a small semicircle with some spikes coming out of it and a guitar. You then want to add some eyes to the semicircle and boom, suddenly it's a fish. You then want to draw some crosses, because drawing crosses is the most effective way to draw a campfire, especially when you have squiggles coming out of said campfire. After completing the campfire, you want to draw a small thing with many eyes next to it, and then a small toaster next to that. After finishing these, you can move on and create yourself a ship, but make sure that the ship has ladders to go up and down in the middle, because ships have ladders and are definitely 2D. When drawing the plane in the top right hand corner, you may want to add a propeller on the back. I did, because I personally like propellers on the back of planes. I think that they're really good at allowing them to swim through water, but that's a personal preference if I'm honest. You then want to draw a hexagon followed by several other hexagons. This is very important that you surround the singular hexagon with multiple hexagons, because hexagons. When drawing the spaceship along the left-hand side, make sure that the compartments in the spaceship are completely even and basically, spaceships. You then want to draw a small blacked-out man, maybe in neons, but I only unfortunately had a black pen on Photoshop. It was broken and only drawing in black. You want to make sure that this guy is shooting lots and lots of things and dying lots. It's pretty difficult to draw that, but you kind of get the idea there. Moving on from that, you'll see that I've drawn a small man with a kind of weird-looking helmet on his head and a giant sword. A giant sword is very important. If you leave the lightness on the right-hand side of the giant sword, then it allows for more of a shining sword effect. Moving on, you'll see that I have drawn a small robot with a cowboy hat and a pickaxe, because we all know what robots really want to grow up and be. When drawing the mage next to the pirate ship, be sure that you black out the inside of his hood, because we all know that mages like to conceal their faces so that when they go about doing their other such tasks, they can't be recognised for their magely duties, because people just frown upon mages in many aspects of the word. You might want to take a break here, as I did, because I got too tired from all this clicking and dragging. It was really hurting my fingers. At the bottom there, you may be wondering what that is. That is actually a spaceship with a small man next to it. And then on the left-hand side, that is the document, the blueprints for our prison plan. You want to add definitely several squares on your prison plan, because that's something that's really quite important when planning prisons. Also, towards the middle there, next to the original kid and other man with flashlight on head, you want to draw some papers and some boxes, because papers, please. And then underneath that, you kind of want to draw a very squiggly man with a sword poking people. And then to the right of the man on the suit, you want to draw a large bunny. Make sure that you have very large ears on your large bunny. You then may want to draw a rectangle and label it Tom. The Tom labeling is kind of subject to choice, but I personally do appreciate it. And then above Tom, you want to draw a small little man with a bandage on his head. And it's kind of personal preference. I didn't do it here, but what you can do with that man is make him explode into buttloads of meat. Alright, so thank you very much for watching, everybody. I did that in one take. The audio commentary might be a little bit sketchy, I know. I'm not the funniest, and like I figured I'd just run it on the fly because I've never been ever good at scripting stuff. Whenever I've tried to script something, it just comes out as awkward and not very good. So I've kind of just commentated over my drawing there. This was a complete and utter rip-off, or parody, as you might like to call them, of Oliver Age 24's videos. I found his videos recently, and I've just absolutely fallen in love with them. They are some of the most hilarious things on the internet. They are genuinely brilliant. Like, the way he does them it is 10 times better than this. His drawings are 10 times better than this, and it is absolutely hilarious. You should definitely go check his channel. There'll be a link in the description. I just figured I'd do it with a little take towards the kind of stuff that I do on my channel. I thought it'd be really funny. I don't know. I was inspired to do a video and I did it, and it was a bunch of fun. I actually had a really good time drawing this. Like drawing all the characters was like a huge amount of fun. I'm actually kind of tempted to do more in the future because like I don't know. There's like a lot of different indie game characters or just game characters in general I'd like to just dick about and draw really awfully. I was kind of thinking about doing a Dota 2 one. Anyway, if you like this video, please leave it a rating and leave a comment as to what you want to see. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff, please tell me because I will happily do it. And thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.